let's go to the topics what we have covered yesterday. So yesterday we have covered regarding the system landscape. So in SAP, we have three system landscape. First one is development, then quality, and the production. So whenever we need to change or create any business logic for the added requirements, so it is done in the development section. Then the same piece of code and configuration is moved to quality. In quality, the testing team tests with multiple positive and negative scenarios, and also UAT happens in the quality. And once these all testing are performed successfully, then the object is moved to production, where live data is interacted with the outside world. Then we have discussed about the naming convention for the variables and different technical objects in SAP. For that, we have discussed regarding classes, interface, methods, and constants. Then we have created our first program in SE38, and we have seen all the attributes of a SE38 report program into the system. While doing the report program in SE38, we have checked some of the data types. Like primarily, we have elementary data types and reference data types. So in elementary data types, we have predefined data types. So whenever we create any variable, either it comes under predefined or in reference. So in elementary, we have predefined and user-specific or complex data types. So in predefined, we can see character data type with length, then num_c, that is numbers with a character. Like its significance will be as a character, not as a number. Then we have integer, we denote it as I in the system. Similarly, for date, we have D, and for time, we have D. For floating values, we use packed data types or floating data types, and the notation is P or F. And for longer character length, we have string. And for user-defined or complex data type, there are two things, structure or work area, that is used to store a single record of a table. And if we want to store multiple rows, then yeah, internal table is there. So we'll discuss more regarding the internal table in upcoming sessions. Then we have reference data types that is used to define or refer to a class reference. So whenever we create a class in SE24 or locally, then to access the class methods, we create reference data types. Then we have checked some of the conditional operators, which is if else, switch, and condition. And we have three types of loop in SAP ABAP. So first one is while loop, then second one is do while, and loop at internal table. So a loop at internal table will be covered later once internal table topic will be completed. So today we'll see this conditional operators and the loops, different types of loop, that is while loop and do while loop. So let's get into the system. So we'll open our VDI. So we are into our VDI and let's open our SAP login. So just double click on this. Then we have system listed. So we can enter our credential here. And yesterday we have discussed regarding client, user password, passwords, and logon language. So let's enter the password here. Yeah. So we are into our system. So let's go to SE38 transaction code. by entering into command line. So yeah, we are here, and in program search bar, we need to enter our program name. So this is the program what we have created yesterday. So let's check this. Yeah. So yesterday we have seen multiple variants of write statement. So now we'll check some of the conditional statements here. So currently this screen is on display mode. So to enable it for any editing, we click on this button, that is display to change. This toggles between display and change. So you can see the screen color got white from blue. That means we can enter or we can edit the program here. So we'll check for conditional operators. So if else, so by the name, it is saying conditional. That means if we are needed to check any value, whether it's less than, greater than, or less than equal to, or greater than equal to, then in that case, we use conditional operators. So what is the syntax? Just you write if, then you can see on top of if, one suggestion came. So you just simply press Control plus space. So let's check whether the user which has logged in into this system is BEST or not. Okay. So for that, we need to access the system variable name. So yesterday we have seen to access any system variable, we write SYU name. And after that, we are getting multiple options like and, between, equivalent, in, is, not between, not in, or. So we will write here equal to BEST, that is the current name. So in first section, the true condition is written. So we will write here and in else part, we'll write other user. Let's check how it works. So for executing any one of the report, we need to first activate it. Then once activated and once we get this success message that object activated, a green signal on the status bar, we can execute it. And for execution, we have seen there are different ways. First option is to click on this direct processing. Second option is click F8 button from your keyboard. And the third option is from the program. You can directly activate and execute it. So yeah. So uh, let me comment all the others. To comment and uncomment, I mean, to toggle between comment and uncomment, you can click on Control plus comma. So that will comment our code in the editor. And to uncomment, the same Control plus dot will be used. So here it is there. So yeah, the current user is best. So that is why this condition is getting checked. And at the compile time, this is the true condition. So the first one is executed. Let's check with some other variable. Let's say if we are writing 1 is greater than 2. So this condition is false. So it should come into the other section. So in other section, in else part, we have written false. So yeah, this condition is false because 1 is not greater than 2. So this is one variant, simple with if and else. If we want to check other variant of if else, then let's create a variable name as age. So we will create, let me remove this first. Yeah. So data. So any variable we create in SAP ABAP, then we write keyword as data. So after data, we can write our variable name. So let's say we are defining age variable, and what will be its type? So its type will be int4. That is a integer of 4 byte. So if you'll see what are the other option for integer, then we have int8, that means integer 8, int4, and we can write simple I. Let's try to activate it, whether it allows or not. Yes, so I means integer. And what is the initial value of age? So we have two options here. So we can write value as, let's say, 15. So this is the one way. At the time of declaration, we have assigned value 15 to age. Or later you can assign it using assignment operator. So age equals to, let's say I'm writing 17 here. So age will become 17. Now we'll check if age is less than 20, then we will write low. Else if we will write age is less than or equal to 40, medium, or we can replace age with temperature. That will be a meaningful case study. So temperature will be I, and so let's say the current temperature is 15, A plus is less than 20, then we write it as cold. If it is less than 30, then we write as medium, and in else part we'll write as hot. So here you can see this in this case, in case one, just we have checked one condition, whether it's greater than or less than. And we have written if and else. But in this condition, we are using multiple conditions used. So in case one, we are checking temperature is less than 20. If it is, yes, then it will print cold. If not, then again it will check for a condition. And if the second condition is also not true, then it will go for the third. So let's see what is the output here for this case. So yeah, we have to activate it and execute it. So the cold is coming, but yeah, before that we need to skip two lines so that the output will be more clean. So since the temperature is 17, that is less than 20, cold is printed here. So in the live example, when you will work on the any project, so this if else condition will be used for checking the multiple conditions. So one if can have multiple values as well. So here you can write with and like one. So for the same temperature example, we can check if temperature is less than 20 and temperature is greater than 30, then we will write not good. And in else part, we can write good. So if we'll execute this, then we'll get the output as good. Because in the very first condition, we are checking two conditions. First condition is less than 20 and the another condition is greater than 20. So similarly, we can write multiple conditions in for checking the condition. So we can write it with and the other variant is or. So in or, any one of the conditions should be true, but for and, all the conditions should be true to execute the section. So this is regarding if condition, then yeah, we'll go ahead. So in the conditional operator, we have switch also. So how it works? So simply switch is used when we check for equality. Here in this case, in if condition, we are checking with the condition like it can be checked for any relation like less than, greater than, equal to, between, or not equal to. But in switch, we check only for equality. That means just we check equal to values. So what is the syntax here? So we will write a switch case here. This is for display purpose on the UI screen. And the condition is this we will write case and after case or we can write it as case also. Yeah. So after case, we need to define put the variable for which we want to check the equality. So let's say we will take the same example as, let's take another example. So for this, we'll define as age here, and its type will be, no, not age. Let's say size column, and type is C, and value is R. So this is a color variable, and we will store one character. We have not given any length for type C. That means this color variable can have a length of 1. So it will be used to store one character. So currently R is assigned to the color. Now we will check if case color. So case color when R, then we have to write our business logic. So let's say in our case, just see we are writing red color, or we can define our logic also here. When B, then we can write it's blue color, or instead of writing this, we can write our business logic. And when others, we can write others. Let's activate it. So yes, while activating, we got some error. It is saying activate despite of errors problem detected. So we'll edit it. And it is saying field B is unknown, and the error is in line 62. So when we'll double click, so it is saying B is unknown. Yes, because we have not given this colon to this value. So after when a value is expected, but we have given a variable name, and that variable name B is not defined. So that is why this message is coming, field B is unknown. Now we have given the values. So is this program is error free? Yes, it is. So if we'll execute this, then yeah, we are getting the output as red because the current value is R here. Let's change it from R to B. And execute it. So we are getting blue as a output. So whenever equality is checking of equality is needed, then we use case, or if we need to check with any relation, then we use else. So this is nothing but a conditional operator. Let's move ahead with the loop now. So when we need to perform any action repeatedly or multiple times, in that case, we use loop. So for an example, we want to loop, or we want to perform some action when certain condition remains true. In that case, we have three options in loop. One is while loop, another one is do while, and the third one is loop at internal table. So first check. how while loop works. So for using the while loops, let's skip two lines on the output screen, and we can define a variable here. But yeah, before that, we'll check the syntax. So just write while, then within while and end while, we need to write our logic. So while, let's say, for example, A is greater than B. And inside this, we can write our logic. So let's define a variable. So let's data, and we say it counter. And we will check if counter is less than 5, then write the counter value. And we need to initialize the counter value as well. So the first value is 1. Let's activate it. Let's execute it. So you will see the current program is in execution state. A busy signal is popping on the screen. So why the output screen is not coming? Because we have not ended this while with a condition. The counter is 1. Yes, it is less than 5. And it is writing on the screen, but we are not terminating, we are not giving any condition to increase or decrease the counter. Or in other words, we can say we have not written any condition to exit from the loop. That is why it went for a runtime. So let's go back. We'll go to the same T code SE38. We'll change this. Then inside loop, we need to add or decrease or increase the counter. So let's add 1 to counter. Let's see how it works now. So yes, we are getting 1, 2, 3, 4 because for the very first iteration, the counter was 1 and 1 is written. In second iteration, 1 is added to 1, that is 2. Then again, 2 is less than 5. Yes, 2 is displayed on the screen. Then add 1 to 2. It becomes 3. 3 is less than 5. Yes, it is displayed. Then 1, 2, 3, that is 4. It is displayed on the output screen. After adding 1 more, then it became 5. 5 is not less than 5. So it got terminated and the output screen got displayed on the screen. So this is a while loop. So never forget to write any type of exit condition in while loop. Otherwise, it will go for endless loop and it will consume all the memory of ABAP, and at the end or after few minutes, it will show a done. Just now, 1-2 minutes back, we have seen that. So this is one type of loop. The second type is do while. So this is also used to check for multiple tasks. So we write it like, or we can say do.
Mohan,
Yes, sir.
should we consider anything related to memory concept? Like in this case, when we open SE38, the program names are stored, right?
Yeah.
So is that the memory you are telling? when we are not giving counter related
Okay,
condition?
no, this is so you mean to say when we enter here,
Yeah.
okay, so this memory you are saying about it?
Yeah, right.
No, this is not a memory. This is whenever in the SAP, whenever you have a IO box, that is input box, then if you have entered previously, then on click of backspace, these values will be appeared. So this is not having any impact on ABAP memory or SAP memory. I'm talking about the memory, what is consumed by the resource while executing any transaction code or any configuration related data. So in that case, if the in this case in while loop, it is just busy in printing this value. It will go here. Yeah, without this condition, in while loop, it was busy with printing the variable on the screen, and all the resources got consumed writing this variable on the screen, and without any condition, it didn't know when to stop it. So that is why it went for a dump. So we are talking about this memory, a BAP runtime.
Okay.
Yeah. So for do loop, when we are sure about how many numbers it will run, then we write do loops. So we can write do how many times. Let's say we want it to do it perform 3 times. So in that case, we write our logic. So just writing hello. So in this case, there is no need to write any exit condition because we have written do 3 times. So let's execute this. So yeah, 3 times hello is written on the screen. But for while loop, we need to write one exit condition. Okay. So now we'll move ahead with the some of the keywords, that is check exit statement inside loop, so that we can control the behavior of loop. So let's check. The third one is loop at internal table, that will be covered once internal table will be covered. Just a minute.
Hello. Sorry.
Yeah.
Did I miss something?
No, no, there was a network issue, so it got
Okay.
disconnected this one.
Okay.
I hope you can see the screen.
Yeah, now I can
Yeah,
see.
yeah, okay. So now we'll check with some of the check statements what we are using, what we use in loop statement, whether it's while, do while, or loop statement. So we will write a check here. So let's take example of do loop here. So we are writing do 10 times, and we will write SY index. What is SY index? So since it starts with SY, that means system variable, and index, it will show the counter of the loop here. So let's see how it works, SY index. So on execution, we can say SY index starts from 1, it went 2, 3, 4 and ended with 10. That means for each iteration in the do loop, the SY index is automatically increased by 1. So this is a system variable. Let's double click on this and what its definition says. So this says it's a ABAP system field and it is a loop index. So whenever we need to check any value depending on the index in loop, whether it's do loop or while loop, we use SY index here. So let's check. We are interested in printing this SY index when index less than 5. So let's see what is the behavior of this condition. So on click of F8, we can see only 4 values, that is 1, 2, 3, 4 is printed. Why? Because for index 1, 2, 3 and 4, this condition is true. So when the condition is true, it went ahead and it executed line number 103. But when in the next iteration it became 5, this condition got false and it exited from the loop. So it came here. So here nothing is there. So it went to the screen and printed out. So we can control the behavior of some logics using the check statement. Similarly, as check, we have exit. So here skip to exit and we'll write index, but yeah, here we will write a condition. So if we can check SY index less than 5, then write this or else exit. In case of 5, let it write 7. Okay, we got some error. So what is the error says? So in line number 117, dot is expected after exit. Let's double click on this. Okay, after exit, we have not written a period sign. So we have encountered here. Let's try to activate. Then we'll fix the others error. Okay, so now this is activated. We don't have any error. So let's execute it. So yeah, the output screen shows 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7, 8, 9, 10 is not printed. Why? Because it is checking for the index less than 7. Till 6 it got printed, but yeah, when it becomes 7, it went false and it exited from the end loop. So this is the second keyword, that is exit, as similar to check statement. Now we have one more condition as continue. So exit is used to exit from the current iteration and it exit from the loop, but continue is used to continue the same iteration. in the loop. So the counter will not be increased, or we can say here in check statement, when it got failed, it didn't execute this one. But in continue, it will go back again to the iterator. It will check the condition and it will re-execute. So that is a behavior of continue here. So let's check how it works. So we will write the same, do 10 times, and we will check if psi index equal to 5, then we will continue it, or else we will write psi index. We have not given any skip condition here. So as an output for continue, we can write 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is missing, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So why 5 is missing here? So we'll go back, we'll see our condition here. So we can see it is written if index is 5, just continue. Do not do anything. Continue. That means it will go to the top of the loop declaration. The index will be increased by 1, and again this condition will be checked. So if we writing in continue, it will not go ahead and check for anything else. Instead, it will go back to the loop declaration, and the loop counter will be increased by 1, and after that the condition will be checked, and the rest of the process will be same as the loop will be. So this is regarding loop and control statement inside loop. So please let me know if you have any type of doubts regarding these topics. If not, then yeah, we'll go ahead with the string operations. So let's go ahead. So for string operation, first we'll see concatenate keyword, what it does. So we'll declare two variables here. So data, and we will term as text1, and its type will be string, and value will be, let's say we are writing hello. And the next variable is text2, and okay, a comma is missing. Yeah. and its value is, let's say, world. So when we will write these two, that is text 1 and text 2, so we can see at the bottom of the screen, hello world is written. But currently these are in two different variables. But why we want to combine it in a one string? Then we can write concatenate keyword, and we write text 1 and text 2 into text 3. But we don't have text 3, so let's define text 3 also, and its type will be string with no value. Let's activate it, and we will write text 3 here. So on click of F8, we can see hello world is printed. Why? Because in text 3, we have concatenated text 1 and text 2. But there is no space between these two variables. So in concatenate statement, we can write separated by space. We can write other character also, but yeah, in this case, we are writing separated by space. Let's see the behavior. Okay, so we got the required output as hello space world. So this is the first keyword, that is concatenate, which is used to combine or add one or two or more character type variable into one. Okay, so the other useful string operation is substring. This is an important keyword what we use. So let's see. So for substring, we'll take the same example. Yeah. We'll take str and its type is hello. Okay. And we want, from the hello string, we want to extract only the first letter of this string, that is H here. So what we will write here? So simply we can write, we'll define a more data, and that will be of str2 type string without any value. And in str2, we will write str plus 0 and length is 1. So what does this mean? 0 means the index of this string. So very first letter has a index 0. this one. Then E will have 1, first L will have 2, second L will have 3, and the last character, that is O, will have 4. It doesn't start with 1. The index starts with 0. And in the braces, we are writing 1. That means for one length. So what does this mean? The index will start from H till length 1. That is till 1 H. And this will be stored in str2. So we can write to display on the screen str2. Okay, we got some error here. What is the error? Okay, str is unknown. What we are, okay, str1 is there, str is not available. So yeah, we have made the required changes. So at the bottom in substring heading, we can see H is printed on the output. So this is the current behavior of this substring. So let's say we want to have this LLO, then what we will write? So in that case, we will write, let's replace this to, so what is the offset value or index of first L? So this is 0, 1, 2. So here we will write 2. And how long we want it? So we want it for length 3. So LLO should be our expected output. Let's see it. Yes, LLO is our expected output. So this is example of substring. Okay. Then we have one more important operations on a string is to define the length of a string. Let's say we want to know about the what is length of this string. So this string has 5 length. So let's check. So we'll define our data, and that will have length, and its type will be I, and length will be, and we will write the value. So let's activate this. Okay, we got some error. Okay, so I guess length is not available. strlen. Let's try it out. Yeah. So to getting a length of any string, we write strlen, and in braces we write our string, and this length is stored in len variable. Let's execute this and we'll see what is the value. So yeah, we are getting the value as 5. So yes, the hello keyword contains 5 length of character. So this is regarding string length. That is a important keyword in string manipulation. The other keywords what we use as a string operations are search, then we have find, we have replace, and also we have regex also. So once you will get the access to the system, or once you get into the system, you try these conditions, and for any issues, yeah, you can connect with me, and together we will work on the issues what we will face. So let's move further. So this was regarding some of the basic data types and its operation on the SAP GUI screen. So now it's time to move to the data dictionary. So we'll go back here.
Before that, Mohan,
Yeah.
so what was the difference between exit and stop?
Yeah. So exit is written in the loop. Okay. Let me show you with an example
Mm.
what we can do. Okay. No. Where we can write the exit here. So when we write any perform section or subroutines, let me think if I can show it with the demo. So are you aware of the events in SE38 program level? So in that case, we have different events. Let's say initialization, load of program, then we have add selection screen,
Mm.
then start of selection. Those are the important events we write in.
Mm.
So when we write, so usually according to SAP guidelines, stop is used to stop the further processing of any one of the events in start of selection or initialization. But the exit is used. Exit is depends where we are using it. Let's say you are using it in loop, then it will come out of the loop. But if you are writing it in any sub perform or subroutines, then it will come out from that subroutine. So we cannot say exit is only used in the loop. It depends where we are using it. But yeah, stop is written there when we want to exit it from certain events. And that events belongs to SE38 or report program or module program ka normal event. So there we use it. And continue is mostly used within a loop, not outside of loop or any events.
Okay.
Yeah. So whenever you are writing stop in any event, it will go to the end of selection. So we'll discuss it more when we'll start module full programming or this one screen program. So yeah, we'll go to the data dictionary part. So to access data dictionary, the transaction code is SE11, that is SE11. So data dictionary is the central storage area that allows user to maintain different objects related to technical or related to database or related to the data model in SAP system. So on the screen, we are on very first screen of data dictionary. So there are multiple options available here. So first one is database table. Second one is view. So view is nothing but a projection on database table. It can combine multiple database table and with the less number of columns, we can see the data of multiple tables. Then we have data type. Inside data type, we can create structure or table type. Or we can create data element also. That we'll discuss. Then we have type groups. We have domain, search help, and object. So these are the different basic technical objects under data dictionary. So we'll discuss more about database table. So first see what are the different database table available in the system. So just simply go click on this database table option and click on F4. Then you can see there are some of the tables are available here. So let's check for some of the standard table whether these are available in the system or not. Yeah. So this MARA is a table related to material management. Currently, this is in active. Let's see if we can execute it. Yeah, we'll go back. Yeah. So let's try to display this table. So we'll go on display. So this table has multiple tabs over here. So the very first tab is attributes. So this is changed by this user, and on this table sits on this package, that is MG, and original language is EN. Then the next is delivery and maintenance class. So for this table, delivery class is L, that is application table. So what are the different delivery class available here? So on click of F4, we can see the different options. So there are A, C, L, G, E, S, W, and all are having different purpose in the system. So usually when we deal with the master data or transaction data, we select option A. When it comes with the SPRO, that is customization related steps, then this category or delivery class of this table will be type C. And similarly, we have other options also for the different users. Then in data browser or table view editing, we have some options. So let's say we have created the table and we want to modify this table. So depending on this parameter, it will allow or it will restrict the user to enter or modify the database table. So currently, this is marked as X. That means display or maintenance allowed for this table. So in system using some of the T codes like SM30, that is SM30, or in short, we say table maintenance generator, we can modify some of the data here. So let's go to the field section. So in field section, we can see multiple columns are created as part of this database table. And at least one key parameter should be there in any database table in SAP ABAP. So in this case, we can see for MARA table, MANDT, that is client field, and MATNR, that is material number, is marked as a key field. And there are n number of, currently it is showing there are 307 columns are available here. If we'll go to the next tab, it is saying about the input health check. So this we will discuss. So for MTART, this is a check table. So for MTART, what is MTART? Let's check its description. So MTART is nothing but a material type. So for material type, there are some predefined values in this table, and we can enter only those values in this MTART field. So for that purpose, this check table is defined. And we have currency or quantity fields. So BRGEW is a quantity field, and for quantity field, we need to provide the unit. So for that, we have given reference table and reference field. That we will discuss, that we will check in hands-on section when we will create a database table in SAP system. So these are the normal attributes of this table. And if we want to see the content of any table, then we click on this button, that is content. Then on the screen, we can enter our required material numbers on the screen. But let's see how many entries are there in this table. So on click of number of entries, we got to know 1542 entries are there. Let's display some of them. So if we'll click on the first icon, the list will be displayed here. So we can see first column is mandatory, that is client column. Then we have material number and we have other information. To check it more, just double click on any one of the record. Then you will see all the values here. So maximum values are blank here, but yeah, from this section, we can check this table. One more option to check this table is we can go directly to SE16N transaction code, and there you can write, there we can display our database table. So on click of OK, the same screen, same output as ALV grid or list will be displayed here. So these are the two ways to see the content of a table. So let's see whether we will be able to cover this part. No, in 10 minutes, it's difficult to create a database table here. So let's check some of the other attributes, what we can do here. Some system variables, okay, data types. So let's create our first domain here. So what is the use of domain and data element? We will get to know once we will assign this domain and data element in our one of the field in database table. Okay. So let's go to the domain and on click of F1. So when you need any information regarding any one of the screen elements in SAP ABAP system, you just click on the field. Let me close this and simply press F1 button. So I'm clicking on domain and let's see what is the behavior. So yeah, we got to know some of the information. So what does SAP says regarding domain name? So in ABAP dictionary, domains can define technical and semantic properties of a data element. And this data element properties such as value, range, or for example. So let's create one. So we'll use namespace as Z test domain 001. So let's create it. So it is asking for short description. We will write test domain. Then for this domain in definition section, it is asking for data type. So what are the different available data types in the system? So those are dates, then strings are there, client, currency key, then we have floating type values, and after floating type, we have integer values. So let's check for character. And for this, we want number of character as 10. Since this is a character, we are not interested for decimal places. And the output length should be 10. And for this character, whether you want it used as a case sensitive or insensitive. So For the time being, we are not marking as case sensitive. That means small value and the capital value will be treated as same. So it's fine. Then we come for value range. So for this domain, if we want to define any value range, then we enter those values here. Or if we want to restrict with some table entries, then we enter the table name here in the value table. So as of now, we are not defining a value range or value table here. So for that, simply we can go ahead and we can activate it. So it is asking for package, but yeah, we are not transporting this attributes or this technical object to the next system, that is quality. So we are storing it in local object, and yes, we need to activate it. So now we can see object saved is activated and our domain is this one. So we'll go back and now we will create a data type. So for data type, let's create a data element here. Z test DLM001. Let's create it. When we create it, it asks for whether you want to create data element, structure, or table type. So currently, we are creating data element. So we'll click on the radio button and we'll say test data element. And in elementary type domain, it is expecting some value. So since we have created our domain in the previous step, let's put that. So we are writing the domain and on click of enter, we can say data type and length is fetched from this domain. And we can activate this data element again in the local maintain field level. Okay. So let's go. Yeah. So for data element, we need to maintain this field level and where it will be used when it will be used in any database table, and this field level will be treated as a column name or field name of the one of the column of database table. That we'll see how it works in the hands-on exercise. So as of now, just we are writing field one. And we'll try to activate it. Then yes, this data element is activated and available in the system. If we'll check its data type, then it is corrected 10. So once we will use this data element in one of the column of a database table, then we need to enter a character value with length, maximum length of 10. We cannot assign any other value, any other type of data in this data element. And if we have defined some of the values, I mean this value range in this for this domain, then we can enter only those values as part of field values for database. So that we will cover it tomorrow, how we will create in tomorrow session, we will create a database table. We will create our own data element. For that data element, we will create domain. We will try to specify some of the fixed values and also in a value check table. And for database table, we will check currency, then currency key and units, and we will perform some of the action like modification of data in our custom database table using SM30, that is table maintenance generator, or any other tool. So for today, I think we are fine. So if you have any questions, then yeah, please let me know regarding SAP ABAP. Yeah. So if not, we can close our call. So thank you all for joining this call. And if you have
Um,
any doubts, then yeah, please let me know. I will be happy to figure it out together.
Mohan, I am seeing something like edit mask. Um,
Okay. Yes.
what is that concept? Is it something related to
Okay. So edit,
convention?
yeah. So edit mask is used when you want to see some of the values as per user expectation. Let's say, for an example, we'll discuss it in brief now. Then, yeah, in detail, we can discuss it tomorrow because we don't have much time. So, let's say, for an example, we have date field, and in system, the date field is stored as YY, then MM and DD format. And if we want to display that as a DDMM YY format or any other format, let's say we want to display only the month part, or we want to separate these some of the values with colon or hyphen. In that case, we use this edit mask, and it is used in the program coding level. So when I'm not sure if you have used FL01 transaction code. So when you will execute this FL01T code, then at the output, it asks us to enter the values as per our edit mask. So in edit mask, that can be like first character should be alphanumeric, then next five characters should be only character, and depending, and the next string will be separated by hyphen. So that comes under edit mask. So for tomorrow, for initial 10 minutes, we can discuss on this edit mask in report program for time values or date values or some of the other values as well. Okay.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Thanks, Mohan.
Yeah. So I think we are good to close this call. So thank you all for having your time. Thanks a lot. Have a nice day.
You too. Thank you. Bye bye.